Hello friends. Hello. I'm Ozan Kirpe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ozan Kirpe. Welcome to my astrology channel, everyone. So the topic of today's video, friends, is astrology informational videos. Previously, I published videos number 1 and 2 about lunar nodes. Today, we're going to delve a little deeper into the subject. It will become more detailed and more understandable. Now, the lunar node. What was the lunar node again? The difference between the axis of the sun star and the moon well, the moon, which is actually a satellite, the axis between the sun and the moon satellite is called the lunar node. It's actually the name given to the axis between the two. It can also be called phallic. And through this gap, the soul slowly enters the body and begins to evolve. How does it carry out this evolution? This is the most important part. We're going to get into this today anyway. Now, the soul has entered the body, it has entered my body, and it has started to evolve within this body. The more detail you grasp, the more you begin to become conscious and aware. That's actually the best part of it. That's also the part you'll find fascinating. I myself am fascinated. I'm in awe. Now, it has entered the body. What is the body made of? Width, length, height. Maximum height. You might know this as the thickness of my waist, my weight, and so on. Width, length, width, length, height, but in two. But for example, in Turkey, people often ask, how tall are you? They ask about your height like that, but that's not what height means. That's not it. There is also width. There's width, let me explain it like this. Width, breadth, height. Width, breadth, height in 3 dimensions. Width, breadth, height. So, in this case, width, breadth, height. To put it in terms you'll understand, mathematically 1, 2, and 3. In science, these are called the first, second, and third dimensions. In science, these are referred to as the first, second, and third dimensions. It is also referred to this way in astrology. In the science of astrology, we also develop in this way. Now, it has entered your body as width, breadth, and height. It has entered as width, length, and height. Now, this month, on the sun's axis, at the lunar node, you came from the south lunar node. You will start to evolve toward the north lunar node. You will leave behind the habits of the south lunar node and move toward the initiative of the north lunar node. Those pieces of information will start to shift and be updated. The knowledge that exists in your soul, in your subconscious. Now, but how are you going to do this? That is the question. How will you do it? Let me tell you right away. Under the influence of 4 elements, you will do this under the influence of the 4 elements. Air, water, fire, earth. That makes 4. Air, water, fire, earth. The being called human, from the moment they are born, after entering their body, from the moment they leave their mother's womb, begins to come under the influence of the 4 elements. The air element, the water element, the fire element, and the earth element. Air, thought. Water, emotion. Fire, action. Earth, the form that the initial thought in the air takes when shaped together with fire. Earth. We evolve under the influence of the four elements. Where inside a solid three-dimensional body, exactly, we are continuously evolving within a three-dimensional body. This essentially means that, mathematically speaking, within our three-dimensional body, along with four distinct external influences, we ultimately reach a total of 7 in all. The total was 7. This is how it goes. We have established the world evolution upon 7 realms. These 7 realms originate from here. 4 elements and 3 dimensions. Blending together over and over, blending together over and over. Now, it would be better if we explain it like this. Now, step out of the body. The visible manifestation of these 3 dimensions outside the body, the room, or rooms everyone is currently in, you know, the corner of the ceiling in the room, the corner of the ceiling. It has 1, 2, 3 sides. This is, at its simplest, the form of the 3 dimensions that outside our body have turned into matter under the influence of our body. A builder, again a human being, came and together with his company transformed this into matter. Now, we are living within this 3-dimensional universe under the influence of the 4 elements. Under the influence of the 4 elements. The concepts we call zodiac signs operate within the orbit of these 4 elements. And in the science of astrology, it is divided into these 12 equal parts. 12 houses. Why 12 houses? Because it has to draw a circle. Why 12 houses? Look at the path of the zodiac. S, connect the ends, and you get the circle. The reason? In order for the action that comes from you, from humankind, to return to itself, it must draw a circle so that the effect of what you do can come back to you. If it does not come back, you cannot comprehend this, and you cannot undergo your evolution. You cannot reach higher dimensions in the process of evolution. Right now, there are some people who, within their own household, have the perception of the first dimension, even though we are living in a 3-dimensional body, but there are many, many more layers to that. However, there are some people who, even within that 3-dimensional body, have not yet comprehended the first dimension. There are people who cannot do this, and there are also people who have comprehended the second dimension. You. Some people can barely even grasp the concept of I. The second is the second dimension. You. And the third dimension is we. You, I, and as a whole, we. That's why whoever we encounter, the dimension they are in becomes apparent through their behavior. I, you, we. Some haven't even reached the sense of self yet. Another has transcended the sense of we. One hasn't reached selfhood, while another has gone beyond we. These 3 dimensions will progress within the framework of the 4 elements. And as this progression continues, the way the universe is experienced will also change. The 4th dimension will come. The 4th dimension has arrived. The 5th dimension has arrived. In video cameras, there are the 6th, 7th, and 8th dimensions. This all progresses entirely, depending on how much a person develops themselves. The more you improve yourself, the more you begin to leap through dimensions. The less you develop yourself, you remain in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd dimensions. You can't even get out of here. You can't move beyond the 1st dimension yet. You can't get out of the ego. We'll be addressing this one by one as we examine the zodiac signs anyway. Then everything will start to fall into place, click by click. Today, what does a system of 3 plus 4 equals 7 mean in astrology? What do dimensions mean? 10, 20, 10. So I thought we'd start from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ozan Kötbe. See you in the next videos. For now, I say arrivederci to everyone. See you soon. All right, man, we can wrap it up.